Okay, this is gonna be a short vlog because today I went to the cinema. I intended to see 4 films in a row. I saw 3. Unfortunately, when I went off to get some food, I had 40 minutes before Gangster Squad. But in the time I was eating, Gangster Squad sold out. So I was stuck reading for an extra 2 hours, which was okay. I finished a wonderful book, which I'm going to show you guys. Talk, Aaron, talk, and amuse them.
Well, Life of Pi, it was quite an interesting film that I didn't see. From what I've heard, it's all arty and stupid and all.
There we go. I finished reading this.
They can't see that. It's too shiny.
World Without Men, a 1950s, 1950s dystopic science fiction pulp novel, where men have all died out, and the entire planet is, women. So it's sort of like all the women are talking. There's a sort of resistance trying to recreate men and all, and they're all being like, "Don't you realize that we live a perverse lesbian existence?" Oh no, it's.
You want snoo snoo?
I seriously think that book, if it was filmed in a rather over-the-top way, or a Barbarella type thing, could be one of the funniest things ever. But, Life of Pi. Okay. Apparently this film is about spirituality and religion.
I thought it was about Calvin and Hobbes.
Not quite. They kept talking about... But, apparently being about spirituality and religion just means that they're going to talk about religion and say that they're going to give demonstrations for the existence of God, and then they never do. One half of this movie is... how do I describe it? A very demented version of Castaway, which I did like. The guy, the tiger, on the boat, it was fascinating, it was interesting, it was quite often very prettily shot. The rest of it... Jesus fucking Christ. Not impressed. I'm going to call this, because it was directed by Ang Lee, Floating Tiger Hidden Purpose, because it's fucking pointless! I might have liked the tiger and the person on the boat thing, because, weirdly enough, I'm a sucker for like 2 people in one film sort of films. I like that sort of thing, people trapped together type thing. But,
Ignore me.
No, you can't ignore you. I came up with several ideas for 5-second movies based on this thing. You've got, okay, he goes to this island which is apparently carnivorous and it will eat you, and it might be some sort of monster, and it was vaguely in the shape of a human, and it's covered in fucking meerkats. So it might take some footage from it and just have, compare the meerkats! Simples! And then, and you got acid pools and shit, and it makes no fucking sense. This was just thrown at you. Most of it's a fairly sane movie about a Indian guy who was named after a swimming pool, who was trapped in a boat with a tiger and became friends, or sort of had mutual respect with the tiger.
So it had nothing to do with the figure Pi.
No, Pi was his nickname. He didn't like his full name, Piscine, because everyone was all like, "Hey, pissing!"
Yeah.
So he memorized Pi to like 1 billion numbers just to make everyone stop calling him pissing, and so they call him Pi. I got the feeling from watching the first part of this that you were supposed to dislike the guy's dad. The guy's dad was the only one who made sense in the entire film. I know for a fact you're supposed to dislike Gerard Depardieu, but... And that really came across. Gerard Depardieu was a complete twat, but... My dislike of Gerard Depardieu might be based less on the actual character and more on the fact that Gerard Depardieu is a twat. The guy Pi himself was a stupid asshat. And sometimes I wish the tiger had eaten him and it was just a tiger on that boat with... originally he was on there with a hyena and a zebra. Now the hyena killed the zebra, and then the lion killed the hyena. If they'd all just teamed up and killed the human, then we could have had a much more entertaining film. It could have been like, The Amazing Journey, but with, or what do you call it?
Or Madagascar.
Well, I think, or Madagascar, but you've got, these exotic animals on a boat together trying to survive and going fishing and stuff. I was very amused when Pi was yelling at the tiger and the tiger pissed on his face. and the time when he was yelling at the tiger, and then suddenly a bunch of flying fish all flew at them, and so he got smacked in the face with it.
Don't yell at tigers, apparently.
The guy... This has been the most interesting maritime, or maritime-ish, friendship that I have ever seen, ever since Tom Hanks fell in love with a beach ball. Life of Pi isn't very good. It's pretty.
It's critically acclaimed.
The stuff on the boat with just the two of them is fine because I quite like that sort of thing. But the rest of it, very, very full of itself. It's very, very. It seems to be very, very conscious of, hey, we're gonna make a film out of this thing that's really, really important, and so we're being very important. And no.
Sounds like what I thought of Slumdog Millionaire.
Maybe. I'm gonna read what people think about Life of Pi because, okay, I went into it expecting guy, tiger, boat. That's all I knew. And I was very confused before the film began because there was a lot of children in there. And I'm really surprised that none of the kids started yelling about how fucking bored they were because who brings their fucking child to an art house film? Kyle Calgren does.
Yes. We all know if he ever has a son, he'll force him to watch Melancholia at the age of 3.
Over and over again.
Yes.
But, yeah, Life of Pi is fucking awful. And no one say this because I don't like art house. I fucking love art house. Except for Kyle, I have a rather... Out of everyone on Tig except for Kyle, I have the biggest love for art house. I own the Holy Mountain, I own El Toro, I own Matthew, what do you call him? I forget his name. He's married to Bjork. His movie The Order. I fucking love art house. Art house is great. This is not. It is art house. It's just not great. It needs lesbians.
Well, the lesbian scene in Texas Chainsaw was pretty good.
In Texas Chainsaw 2, where there was this bit where Leatherface attempted to flirt with this woman, and he used his chainsaw basically as a phallic symbol and put it between his legs and was attempting to hump the air with it. Texas Chainsaw 2 was amazing.
That would be the worst period of your life.
It really would. But, yeah, I promised you Life of Pi thing would be short, and much shorter than the fucking film itself. Let me just say, I watched The Hobbit right before. It's the second time I've seen The Hobbit. The Hobbit's 3 hours long. I was wanting to see what it looked like in 24 frames, and honestly, it looks better in 48 frames. But Life of Pi felt like about 4 hours, and it's about 2. And it wasn't the stuff with the tiger on the boat that dragged it. It was everything else.
She's dead. She died of boredom. Rest in peace.
Shall we go and get some food?
I would.
It is like 1:17. And tomorrow, I am going to do some voiceovers for a crossover from MagFest. If you see this, people who did crossovers with me, send me voiceovers. You won't see this because very few people will.